Hello strangers, how you doing? Welcome back. Been a while, not had much chance to get out. I'm somewhere a bit different today, just a quick one. I'm in the Canary Islands in Lanzarote, and I am staying in Playa Blanca for a family holiday. I just thought I'd get out for a few hours and do a little bit of a walk, which if you're ever in Lanzarote and Playa Blanca, I'm about a 10 minutes drive from there in the town called Femes. The route I'm doing is the Pico Redondo. It's about a 7-kilometre walk. Highest peak, highest elevation is about 400 metres, I think. Just on the first one, just a bit behind me over there. Yeah, very nice. Nice views around. Lanzarote is a funny place, really. It's quite sort of barren, but it's got its own beauty in its barrenness, I think. Lots of cactuses and notice small details around. It's not as obvious to find beauty, you've got to go looking for it. So yeah, take on a little bit of a walk today, say it'll be a quick one. I'll show you the route on the map at the end. So if you get to Playa Blanca, don't spend all your time on a sun lounger, get out a little bit and explore. Right, catch you up in a bit. So I think I've just done most of the eastern part of the circular route so far, probably about 2.5k in. I'm going to turn southbound in a minute, but I just thought I'd show you this. So this is a view looking east, and you can see in the distance there loads of white buildings there. So that's San Bartolome and Arrecife, where if you're travelling into Lanzarote, you probably have flown into. Yeah, they're lovely. All the peaks there as well. See if I can turn you around and zoom in. That's Arrecife in the distance. And the path is about to turn south. I don't know if you watch any NASA programs, but I always think, God, what are they called? There's Moonlander, Mars rovers, whatever they're called anyway. Want to know what that sort of thing looks like when they see it? Look at that. There's got to be a Martian landscape. Pretty much bang on, apart from the blue sea, obviously. It's incredible. Yeah, it's almost at the highest peak, which is 485 metres. It's just near the bit there. Then there's kind of like a ridge walk, I think, along the side. We'll find out when we get there anyway. So I just thought I'd show you some views from where we are anyway. So let's try and work out where we are. So where I left, so that's Arrecife over there in the distance in the white. When I left you earlier on and said I'm going to turn on south of the route, I thought it was the last I was going to see of it. But look, it comes back again because we're so high now. And that was the about here where I left you off. There's a little hut down there, then you go along the riverbed, here, and there's another peak just here, zigzag up to there, and then we zigzag our way up to this path here basically. Yeah, so we are on the west side of the route now, just making our way up to the highest peak. But yeah, it's really, really nice. And there's a nice little shelter, almost at the most sort of northerly point down there. There was another family sat there in the shade having something to eat, so I didn't really want to disturb them, so I've carried on. Just drank my water. If there is somewhere to stop, I'll make a cup of coffee. Because this is Brew with a View after all, and stop and enjoy it. Yeah, right, we'll carry on. Just remember to bring plenty of water if you do this, guys. It's been about an hour and a half for me so far. So I think the whole thing is about 2.5 hours. Nice breeze, but it's quite warm, and I've got a litre of water with me, and I've probably done over half of that, so I recommend at least a litre of water per person. But anyway, important but boring facts. Still absolutely beautiful here. I'll give you a pan around. I'll zoom in and I'll show you where that little hut is that I mentioned. There you go, that's the little hut shelter there. Views of Arrecife in the distance. Sorry about the wind. Right. Onwards and upwards. And that is Fuerteventura in the distance. Time for a brew then. That's what we're here for, isn't it? Got my little stove set up there, a little twig stove. Got one Tigris titanium stove. Got a little titanium pot I've not used yet, and a bit of foil underneath it. That's just to stop it getting burnt by the wood, really. And I found a few sticks around as well, I'll just show you. Plenty of bits of wood and twigs around. So I managed to get a few of them in there. Got my little titanium pot on the go now. For a cup of coffee. Cheers, guys. There we go. Brew had. No trace left, as you can see. Nothing there. So off down, back to Femes now to finish the walk. So yeah, see you at the end. Cheers. So just on the last bit now. So we kind of started. We started in the village, but that hut there is just a quick and easy down to the village on the other side of this little peak here. So what we did earlier on was we came down from there. You can't see it very well here, but there's a trail running along here now, goes along by the riverbed and takes us up this bit here. And that's where I said that's where our views of Arrecife were earlier on, and then I took you off round to the east, around the side of this peak. So we almost come So let's up this peak, run along the ridge walk and back down here. So yeah, almost there. Really enjoyed it actually. A few mildly dodgy moments along where the path is quite close to the edge, but other than that, yeah, pretty doable really. People with most reasonable ability, I'd say. Remember to take some water, but yeah, really pretty, really nice to get out and see. Right, enough waffling for me now then. I will sign off from here and say thanks for watching, guys. Just a quick one, just something a bit different. So usual ask, like if you like, subscribe if you like, would really help me out. Can bring my followers to 10. Ooh, I've only got 9 so far. There could be a reason for that. Hey, so any feedback greatly received. But if you have watched to the end, thanks very much. I'll just do a few more little views of the walk back. I won't waffle on anymore. So thanks again. Take care, guys, and I will see you on the next one. So a quick run through of the route which I got from All Trails. You come up the hill from Femes, and at the top of the first bit of the hill you'll find a goat farm, and you take a right there and go down a fairly steep slope initially, but then it gets a bit gentler down into the first valley. It's a pretty gentle walk along here, along the valley floor, until you come to the signpost that you saw earlier in the video, the fork in the road, so to speak, and you take a right, and that takes you gently back up out of the valley here. It's again pretty gentle walk along the northerly ridge, or sorry, northerly side of this circular route. If you look across to your left along here, you'll see views to Arrecife, and then we come to the saddle here between two peaks, and we'll do a right and turn onto that saddle. That saddle is pretty gentle, and that'll take you down to the shelter hut. So if you want a spot to shelter from the sun, that's a good spot to stop for some lunch or a drink. Then after that we take a right, and that takes us back down to the valley on the other side of the main peak, by some cactus plants and a dried up riverbed. And then we hook a left, which takes us up the peak on the other side of the valley. Hook a right at the top of here, and then we start our ascent to the main peak of the walk, which was 405 meters or whatever it was. So that starts to zigzag on here because it gets quite steep along this bit here. So take your time on this one. And then when you're at the highest peaks here, this is where we go over the second saddle, and you'll start to see views over to the west of Playa Blanca, etc. And this is where it's kind of like a sort of semi-ridge walk, and then turns into a bit of a cliff path, I suppose, to want a bit of a description. So it drops off quite sharply to the left. But this is much prettier here, a lot more cactus, a lot more greenery, and the views are quite nice across to Playa Blanca. Then you come across to a saddle again, where I stop for my brew, and you go over the saddle, you'll start to sort of semi-descend back towards the goat farm here and back down into Femes.